Tonight, the creeps are taking over.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't care. I love it. I don't care.
I think you know why I'm playing that song tonight, Dan, don't you?
Fill me in.
All right, never mind. I thought you'd get it.
Is it because you're awesome?
No.
Is it because I'm awesome?
I thought it just fit the theme of tonight.
Oh, yes, indeed. Now I get. Listen, I was distracted by the TV. You've got TV, no sound, and I'm like an autistic child. I fill in the blank.
Okay. All right. Well, we got no Brett tonight, and we got no DJ still, unfortunately. Do you think there's any chance of DJ coming back?
I think that ship has sailed. But I think he might, call in with some of his new career aspirations or some other type of thing.
Okay. So it's just me, your host, Brendan. We got Dan Sr., and we have Nick. Nick, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nick LaManna, and I'm here.
Okay.
Indeed you are.
All right. Well, tonight we got a special guest calling in tonight. We got, the Grandmaster Flynn of the New York City Jedi School.
Grandmaster Flash. Finally.
I think he calls himself Grandmaster Flynn.
So he's not just a master, he's a Grandmaster.
He's a Grandmaster Flynn.
Okay, so run this, so just for the listeners at home, I just heard you say he's a Jedi Master.
He runs this school called the New York City Jedi Academy, and they practice with these toy lightsabers.
I can't imagine they'd like you calling them toy lightsabers.
Well, I know he called it toy in an interview.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a charter school?
No, I don't think it's a charter.
That would be great if you could go to sleep. You board up at the Jedis. And in reality, I think those are two words I probably don't need to use tonight. In reality, but I would imagine that Jedis in the initial training in Star Wars did not have like a daytime program. It was probably just you went there, you were a Padawan, and you lived with your master. But I don't think he's got people living with, or does he? Does he have people living with him? Or
well, that's the whole reason. See, we're curious about this.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah, we're gonna try and find out as much as we can about his academy.
I'd love to hear.
And if you're a Star Wars fan, we encourage you to call in at 201-580-3712. You can listen to us at www.corrosiveradio.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Corrosive Radio, and follow us on Twitter at Corrosive Radio. Am I missing anything?
No, but so we are. Are you a Star Wars fan there, Brendan? I know you have kind of a former comic book history. Were you a big Star Wars guy?
I'm a fan of Star Wars to the extent that I like the first three movies.
Right.
But I'm not gonna go.
You don't go apeshit over it.
I'm not gonna.
You're not jacking off to Chewbacca or any of this kind of stuff, right?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Oh, yes, I am missing something. We do have an announcement to make. Last night was the first episode of Corrosive Radio's new show called Outback Radio, hosted by Charlie Outback.
Charlie, shout out to Charlie Outback. I heard it went well.
It did go well. Now, if you're a fan of politics, if you're a political junkie, if you're a sort of a conspiracy theorist or a constitutionalist, this is the show for you. Right now, I made a little mashup just so we could hear what the show's about. Now, remember, this is a educational, informative, serious, and intelligent show. Its primary purpose is to educate people about the Constitution.
And I need education. So
all right, so we're going to give everybody a little taste of what this is about. All right, you ready? All right.
I seen the movie Red Dawn, and I'll tell you what, I can lead a little army myself. I've been known to do that before.
Federal Reserve, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and whatnot.
As the leader of the resistance, I would hate to run up against some Ruskies, you know?
What do you think of Social Security numbers?
That's true. We did that in Afghanistan. If anybody's seen Rambo 3, it obviously happened.
I didn't hear anything about mudslides. I heard there was like a lot of people.
There is something like that in the Constitution.
The Constitution states something about
Says, I believe it's the third amendment. If I don't know more.
the United Nations is real bitch.
I don't know if it would be unconstitutional.
Do it. I'll hang up on you, goddammit.
Because Hillary Clinton's going to be the next president of the United States. You heard that on Outback Radio today, guaranteed.
Ain't that some shit, too?
That segue was brought to us by Corrosive Radio, www.corrosiveradio.com, our flagship station.
All right. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea. And Charlie, if you're listening, it's just in good fun. That's not malicious. Or if anybody who knows Charlie's listening,
You damn well better be sure it wasn't malicious. This man has a fucking army that he can bring up against your door. He's done it before. We heard him.
I think he's going to be a superstar. I really do.
He already is. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, no, I mean we only had a few people listening last night, but I really think he's going to.
I find that hard to believe. So I don't know. But I'll tell you what I also found hard to believe is our lovely guest told me before the show that he is actually probably one of the few human beings who has never actually seen Star Wars. Is that true?
That is true. Like I said, I've seen Spaceballs, but I've never seen any. I've never seen any of the Star Wars. So I'm trying to figure out what makes this. How did he decide that he's a Jedi Master?
Well, I'd love to find that out, but I mean, like, how do you? I feel like that's some sort of like deprived childhood. I mean, not that it's such a. I'm not any kind of huge Star Wars fan, but I almost feel like that's like never having seen any, I don't know, Super Bowl or never. I don't know. Like that's just. Did you when you see it come on TV? Do you just automatically change the channel, or what's the move?
At this point, I actually do. At this point, when I see it, I'm like, you know what? I can't invest that much time now, right? There's how many? There's like 6 or 7 of them, right?
But you're still watching the TV, so why not just watch it?
I'd rather watch Rocky 3 for the 30th time than start a new commitment when it comes to with Star Wars. But I think I get the whole thing. What, like the Force was inside you all along, right? Pretty much you could do it yourself if you just put your mind to it. I mean, I get it. I don't need to see the whole thing.
That sounds like Star Wars when one of those girls on Spike TV explains it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was inside me all Obi-Wan. It was inside me all along.
Right.
Maybe Obi-Wan was inside me all along. Who knows? But the point is, I just. You must have grown up. I mean, because you're about how old, if I may ask?
I'm 29.
Yeah, see, you still would have grown up at a time when, like, every kid's running around trying to, like, either be Darth Vader or Han Solo. And just to, like, maybe be sort of clueless about it is just, I don't know, that just seems like maybe your parents didn't love you, or I don't know what, I don't know exactly what it is, but I just feel like that's, like, something that you should have at least kind of, like, looked at a little bit.
What's the pitch for it, though? Why?
You know what it is because, to be serious, honestly, it was such a special effects masterpiece when it first came out. But you're right. I mean, I think Brenda would agree. Now, it clearly pales in comparison to today's blockbusters. But it was such a leap forward when it came out in '77 that it was sort of like nobody had ever seen that kind of thing before. Right? I mean,
well, I know my uncle keeps talking about it, that he went to see it 10 times in a row.
Is this the gay uncle?
Yeah, this is a gay uncle.
Oh, I wonder why he saw it 10 times in a row. Is he like Harrison Ford or something?
No. I mean, I think he just like you said, it was an overwhelming experience for him. I mean,
I can imagine he's had several overwhelming experiences.
It seems almost like a drug, though. That like once you see one, you got to see them all. Then the next thing you know, you're dressing up. Then you're going to these Comic-Cons. I don't want that kind of commitment.
Yeah, slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
You're having sex with Darth Vader, and it's just
exactly, yeah. And now the Force is inside me.
Exactly. But no, I'll tell you one thing. That first of all, just while I'm certainly not any kind of super fan. I've only seen them a reasonable number of times, maybe like 5 or 6 each. The new ones, the second ones, you're not going to... In other words, the prequels. No self-respecting Star Wars fan has ever or would ever admit to liking the prequels.
But you still stand outside in line waiting for those tickets.
Yeah, I didn't. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people did, but I don't know.
I mean, see, that's how I know I'm not a real Star Wars fan, because I kind of like the first one of the prequel.
That's the worst one. It's the one with Jake Lloyd, the little baby Anakin.
He was an annoying little bitch, but
kind of cute though. Little bit,
maybe.
But well, let's ask our guest tonight. I mean, he's a Jedi Master. Maybe he can tell us which is the, I mean, I like Natalie Portman as the Amidala character. I mean, she's obviously better looking than Leia, but I don't know.
What was R2-D2's purpose?
Like legitimate.
Yeah, he just likes sticking in his.
Yeah, he would put the things
Just
in.
he just likes sticking into holes he shouldn't have been going into.
Because from the previews, he looks like the wart. The wart, like the guy who's always worried about
No,
something.
that's C-3PO.
that's the gold one you're
Wow,
thinking
That's
of.
the gold
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
okay.
See, listen, you better read a quick book
Yeah,
or something
no,
because
seriously, this
you
guy-
you're gonna have to be on point when Flynn calls in.
I might have to apply to that school. you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're the ideal person to ask him questions because I'm certain Flynn's always getting inundated with, specific questions that are really deep in the sort of Star Wars universe. And it would be great to just
And I
have
don't
somebody
know
go
who
like,
R2-D2
who's
is.
the R2-D2 guy? What is he like? Is he a Jedi? I mean,
Yeah, that might even be refreshing. Or, he might just hang up the phone because he's insulted.
No, I think it'd be refreshing. I think it's one of those things where it's just like finally people go, he goes, he's probably hearing nonstop all day long, who's better, Darth Nihilus or Darth Maul, or who is the greater Sith Lord, or, all these things. And I can imagine that after a while he's just going to want to hear like a basic question and that kind of, it's like playing catch with a little kid for a major leaguer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. It's like finally you just kind of, you go to T-ball and you watch your kid play a little bit. So
That's
but-
got to be the prerequisite to get in there, though, right? You had to at least seen the first three.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Can you go in? I would love it if you went in and
What's
actually
this
had the wrong
glowing
thing.
stick?
Yeah, and if you were actually like, when do I get to meet Captain Kirk? Seriously, I just know that where is Spock? Because I've always wanted to meet. You just have to continue to ask like the wrong franchise. But I don't know. I would love to. I'm interested in seeing, hearing all about it, and perhaps any people that are willing to call in and that want to give a call and speak to an actual Jedi Master who's teaching right in New York. Give a call. The number is say it.
201-580-3712. He's going to call in about, well, depending on how punctual he is, he's going to call in about 4 minutes.
Jedis are always punctual. But let me ask you now, Nick. You've been a comedian now for about how long?
About 9 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. And so you said you're 29, so basically there was no college, there was just comedy for you.
No, I actually got started while I was in college. I went to Old Dominion University down in Virginia Beach,
Yeah.
Norfolk area.
Yeah.
I got started there. Going into my sophomore year, I started to do some comedy.
How long are you going to wait? And again, I'm just trying to be honest. How long, what is your ultimate goal? And at what point do you just, if it weren't to happen, where you just say, you know what, time to wrap it up? Time to just give it it's not going to occur.
Yeah, that is a good question. I'm gonna keep. I can't really take a
Parents
hint.
told me to ask you.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. My father probably did. My goal, honestly, if I could just do that, my first goal really is to do that as a living. If I can make it to where I don't have to get up and go to some job and listen to somebody tell me what I got to do every day, that would be good. So that's my first goal, is really just to make it as a living.
Yeah.
Brendan's been doing that already, and I mean, he looks miserable, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, I'm giving this radio show 1 year.
Okay.
1 year, and if I don't think it's on a trajectory to get any better,
I say till I'm about 80. I'm giving myself about another 50 years.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Can you make ends meet now or no?
Doing comedy or no.
No?
No. I have a girlfriend. So
How about
no.
selling drugs?
It would have to be coke. I'd have to start selling coke.
So it's that bad.
Yeah.
well, I mean, how bad is your life? I mean, how expensive is your lifestyle? You live in Rutherford.
Right. Yeah. No, that part is true.
He
It's-
walked here, Brendan.
I
I'm
did.
telling you, he walked here.
Had my Segway with me. How big is my lifestyle? I would barely. I mean, it really depends on the month. Honestly, it comes in waves. I mean, right now I'm on an okay wave, but September and October does not look good. So I need a little bit more consistency. So that's what I'm going for this next year.
And so what's your real job? Valet parking? That's always a go-to job for...
Yeah, I was a waiter.
Waiter.
I was that for about 4 years at the Olive Garden, but now I'm actually advising students at the University of Phoenix.
I don't think that's a smart move. Should
Well,
you
they
be
hired me.
advising other people.
They
in life
they
decisions?
hired me.
Wait, advising them on what?
Well, advising. Really want to
Life
go into
decisions?
Exactly.
Yeah, about whether or not they want to go to school, typically online, but going through the whole process, helping with financial aid. I mean, I've kind of. I seem to have a variety of different areas that I seem to be okay at, and I'm just trying to find the one that I'm good at.
Wait,
know what I
are you
mean?
a college graduate?
I am. I'm actually in pursuit of my master's right now. Believe it or not.
Was it an online college?
No, like I said, I went to Old Dominion.
Oh, right.
And,
Oh,
so-
you actually graduated.
Yeah, I graduated. Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Yeah,
not too shabby.
communications.
That's actually even so. You
As you
actually
can
paid
tell.
money to make no money.
Exactly. It's
Wow.
exactly what happened.
Wow.
And then I moved up here with poor planning and a dream, and worked at the Olive Garden for 4 years. Got fired.
Oh, great Italian cuisine, huh?
Oh, it's fantastic, man.
I'm still curious. How did they say, like, what?
Yeah, who calls you?
Yeah, I mean, what about you? What about you made them go? Yeah, he's good. He's got the wisdom.
Yeah. I don't. I still don't. I'm a good interviewer. You know, that's really what it is. And it's afterwards. That's how, really because I've gotten fired from quite a few jobs, and that's usually how it is. Like, Nick, we really like you, but just don't come in anymore. You know.
Yeah, they usually tell that to my brother who's got brain damage.
Right. We have a lot in common.
So I mean, that actually is kind of funny that you've managed to get a job advising other people on their life's decisions when you are, I'm assuming, dead broke and basically, you know, making your parents cry each night when they go to sleep.
I think I'm making my mother cry. My father, I think, has almost given up.
He's given up.
I think they're that part is. I mean, I have a younger sister, so all their hopes and dreams have now gone into her.
Really?
You know?
Is she hot?
Yeah, she's my sister. I'm not going to fall for that one.
No, come on. Oh, come on. I mean, people do that.
I'll say this. Black guys seem to like her.
So she's got a fat ass.
That just means she's white.
Nice. It has good credit, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, but seriously, so I never got that, though. That's actually interesting. Like, I can totally tell if somebody's good looking or not, whether related to me or not. I mean, like, I don't know. I know that's everyone looks at me like, oh, that's so gross. You'd be like, no, I can be honest. If like, for example, if I have like a sister and she weren't my sister, I still wouldn't do her. It's not really my type.
Right.
My mom, on the other hand, hubba. No. But I mean, seriously, I don't know. I'm always able to just tell people, you know, from a distance who's going to be good looking and who's not, regardless of if they're related to me. So, how about your girlfriend? Is she hot, or are you not allowed to say that?
No, I mean, I find her attractive. Yeah, and she's
that's a good
great
prerequisite.
cook, so that's what makes.
She's
her
also
gorgeous.
listening right now. So
excellent.
Yeah.
That's why I want to know exactly.
of course he has to say she's hot. All right. So what do we got here? He's 1 minute late, so he's not that punctual.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But,
do Jedi Masters have wands? Do they need, or is that just all hands? Is that all hand based?
It's all hand based, and they have these things known as
You know
lightsabers.
what? I mean, because these questions are so sincere and innocent. I think
should save them.
You should save them.
I
Don't
really
ask
don't
us
know.
anything more.
Yeah. That actually you're the perfect interviewer in this case, because he's probably just going to be like, wow, you really have never. What other major blockbuster, incredibly huge movies have you not seen? I mean, are there other ones? Did you see Avatar?
No, I never saw Avatar.
Do you just hate going to movies?
You don't sound like a science fiction fan. That's what it boils
I'm not
down
a massive science. Yeah, I'll be honest.
okay.
It's not that I hate going to the movies. It's just I'll wait for it to come on demand. But then even then, honestly, I'm a really big sports guy. That's really all
no
I want.
kidding.
I'm
All right.
massive. Really into fantasy sports. I do a lot of that sort of thing.
Really?
So that's really where a lot of my focus
Here we go.
goes into.
Call coming in right now.
Hello, Flynn. Flynn, how you doing?
Not Flynn, Billy.
What other major blockbuster?
Billy, what's going on?
I gotta ask Dan a question.
All right, go ahead.
I gotta
Ask
ask
Dan a
Dan a
question.
question.
Oh, I never saw Avatar.
Go ahead.
Dan,
Bill, turn down the radio in the background.
it's
You're our most
awkward. It's
loyal
awkward.
listener.
Dan,
You'd think you would know. Yes.
Dan,
What?
you just said from a distance you can tell whether or not someone's going to be hot. What the hell does that mean?
It means that I was drinking something before I came here. Is that all right?
Are we talking about underage women here?
Sort of. No, I can tell
All
that
right.
too. For the record, no, I can absolutely tell if a girl's going to be good looking or not. And I
Gonna
mean like
be.
8 or 9.
That concerns me. It concerns me because we're
How
talking
old,
about children now.
Billy, yeah, that's
now
fine.
we're talking about children.
Billy, how old are your kids?
Going
Do you
to
have
be
a daughter?
good looking from a distance, whether or not they're related to. So now your cousin
Billy,
is 5 years
answer
old
my
is
question.
beautiful. I don't understand what's going on here, Dan.
Billy, let me ask you a question. Do you have a daughter?
Yes, I do.
All right. How does she look? And I'll tell you, I can be honest with you, I will know whether or not I will want to have sex with her when she's 14 if you
All right,
send me a picture.
She's 5 months old. What are you going to tell me?
How's that vag look? Is it tight? Does it look like it hasn't even been hasn't been unwrapped yet, right? Like
No,
it's really,
it hasn't.
Right. So I mean, I would hope not. But I mean, Billy, you know, you get pretty drunk, but I don't take you for that kind of issue, you know, that kind of father. But I guess that means you really don't love your daughter. But that's beside the point. I mean,
Okay, all right, but from a distance,
yeah.
am I looking at other children and judging how hot or how not hot they're going to be in the future?
Well, you
That's my
should
question.
be. I do. I say
All
it
right,
all the
well-
time. Absolutely, no. I can tell, and yeah, but I can tell if someone's even young, what they're going to look like, and whether or not I will be sexually attracted to them.
Yeah, Bill, it's not as unusual as you think it is. Because my mother, she seemed to have a knack for that, and she was always right. She's like, you know that girl that you went to school with. Yeah,
I'd like to lick a twat.
No, she's like she's going to be really attractive when she grows up. And,
Right.
and I couldn't see it. I'm like, well, whatever.
Are you able to do the reverse when you look at an old woman?
That's the hardest one yet. That's the hardest thing for me.
It's just some cases where it's pretty obvious.
I can do it with guys too. I can do it absolutely with guys.
That's scary.
No, I don't care. I'm honest. I'm one of these guys that I can't stand when women are always like, "Oh, she's so pretty," and guys, this is another call.
All right, Bill, hold on. We're going to answer the.
There we go.
Yeah, Bill,
Get him on.
Yeah, we might lose you here, Bill. Hold on.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll listen.
All right, hello, you're on Corrosive Radio.
Hi, I'm looking for Brandon.
Oh, Flynn, Grandmaster Flynn.
Yes. Hello, sir. I'm sorry about that. I got trapped in the subway.
It's okay. That's okay, Flynn. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. So, tell us a little bit about your organization here. It's the Jedi. It's the New York City Jedi Academy, if I'm not mistaken.
It's called New York Jedi.
New York Jedi.
And
okay.
we started about 8 years ago. I've been teaching lightsaber stage combat in New York City now for over 8 years. We're in our 9th year now.
Your 9th year. Lightsaber stage combat. So it's like performance art.
Exactly. And it's not. I mean, everybody knows the lightsabers from Star Wars, of course.
Well, we
actually have a guest comedian who has never seen these movies and is unaware of the lightsaber. He actually asked whether or not Jedis use wands, and that is not a joke. Actually, he's never seen it, so he's naive.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Flynn. This is Nick. He's a stand-up comedian, and he has some very sincere questions that we couldn't even believe. He literally asked us, "Don't the Jedis use wands?" So
no, that's no problem. What do you got?
All right, so go ahead, Nick. Ask him.
Well, how you doing, Nick? I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad.
What is it that makes a Jedi? How can you decide who's a Jedi? And who, like, can you look at a student that's coming in and say, "I know that one's going to be a Jedi"?
Interestingly enough, there have been many people that have come into our classes that I would be like, "Wow, okay, this guy's like beyond help," and I don't think we're ever going to get in out of Mom's basement, right? But we've had these people turn around. He found a girlfriend in our group. They just had a baby a little while ago. Wow. You never know who's going to surprise you and have that hero and really, really show you what a Jedi is. And everybody knows them through the stories of the movies and such like that. But, the telltale sign if somebody has a lightsaber, that illuminated sword, what color it is. Then you know if they're a Jedi or a bad guy.
What color? So do they bring their own saber?
Do we have our own
you
saber?
supply the
Actually,
saber?
Everybody in the group has their own lightsaber. They designed it. It's their own color. If they want to be a bad guy, it's normally red. Mine is orange because I like the color orange.
You like orange?
What does orange mean?
That's wow! You're the first person I've ever met who actually likes the color orange. That's like the least, and especially for a lightsaber, that seems like the least intimidating color around.
Well, if you understand the lore, like when you go farther and farther into the red of the lightsaber, that's dealing with anger. So in the lore of the Jedi's in training,
beautiful.
So more orange and red the saber is, you're riding that razor blade of whether or not you're a bad guy.
So you could flip at any moment and just start killing people, basically.
They call that a dark Jedi. Yeah.
Okay, so do you carry two lightsabers depending on your mood?
I actually have two lightsabers that go together and form a lightsaber staff.
Like the Darth Maul one.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. Flynn, we got a call for you. Do you want to take it?
Sure.
Hello, you're on Corrosive Radio. What's your question for Grandmaster Flynn?
I'm on?
Yes.
There you go. I got a two-part question with a one-part statement. All right. Anyone that calls in and calls himself Billy that has a daughter is just as gay as Star Wars. Just to let you know that real quick.
Okay.
Number two, how big are all you guys' lifesavers as well? I just want to know that as well, too. And are any of you guys over there child molesters at all calling in? Or any of you guys over there child molesters right now listening to me talk?
Sir, how did you get... Wait, what does this have to do with Flynn?
I'm not really sure what the question is.
I don't even know Flynn. I don't even know his name is Flynn. I'm just calling in right now. All right, I want to know the two questions in that statement over there.
Okay, well, what are you two...
Hey, what's your name, Cutie Pie?
What's my name?
No, I don't care about you. The other guy with the sweet voice.
Oh, me?
Sounds like a 5-year-old, that guy. What's his name?
Wait, me? Do I sound like a 5-year-old?
Yeah. Hey, cutie.
Hey, how's it going?
And, ups and downs right now.
Right,
My
right.
lightsaber, hoping to, hit your lightsaber too with my lightsaber.
Oh, now we're talking. Slow down, because I'm no cheap date.
What color is your lightsaber?
Wait, hold on, Flynn. Is this bothering you at all?
I mean, Flynn, you actually must hear this quite a bit. Let's be honest.
Are you kidding? I've heard it all. Believe
I
me.
can't imagine that you haven't heard any joke that didn't have something to do with either gay, child molestation, lives in parents' basement, nerd. I mean, it's pretty much like it's all redundant to you at this point, which I kind of admire.
Well, the joke is that you have the cop to give the show the nice officer wearing the Jedi doll. The Jedi touched you,
Right.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right, so you blew it. So we were going to go that route tonight.
I mean, I actually, but no, you were saying though that the colors matter, and before that though, you had actually said something intriguing, which is that there was a guy who got a girl pregnant. So can girls be Jedis?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. Let's be honest; they can't be as good a fighter as a guy. They have that Q angle, the wider hips. They're not as fast, not as slow.
What about my question over here? What's going on?
All right, fine. Get back to your question. Go ahead.
All right, what color's your lightsaber over here? I'm trying to pickle my lightsaber. What the fuck? I mean, what's going on? Come on.
Oh,
What's the question, bro?
Yeah, wait, you're asking me a question? What color is your lightsaber? How the fuck would I know?
You have to address the person you're asking the question.
Yeah, honestly, because I don't know what's what.
It's all the above. Any one of you homos over there.
Okay.
All right. I mean, dude, if you know, I get the joke, but can you make it a funny one? I get it. Yes, we've talked. You're kind of like rehashing old material. So you want to know what? Come on, tell me what. Do I molest little kids?
I keep talking to you like 10 times in a row. You don't listen. What the hell is going on right now, man?
Wait, is this Pete Lorenzo?
Dad, get off the phone, okay? I'm really tired of you bothering me.
I have a question when it comes to the colors of it, because it seems almost like a karate or a martial arts type of feel, to where as you move up through it, like you get a brown belt, white belt, that sort of thing, and then you're a Jedi Master at whatever the top is, orange or whatever it is. Is that how it goes?
Well, that's how they have it in the Star Wars movies and in the books and all that stuff. According to
There's
the
Star Wars
color
books?
scheme, like Jedi, Obi-Wan's lightsaber in the first episode where they're fighting Darth Maul with a double-bladed red lightsaber.
Yes.
Obi-Wan's color in there is blue, and Qui-Gon's is green. Yoda's is green, right? When you have the green, you are the Jedi Master. You're able to take Padawans, meaning assistants or learners. You know, your apprentice. You know, whatever. Sith Lords call their apprentice. You know, or their juniors. Rebel Rounds Random Squire. But I mean, it's a color scheme for the audience. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, the audience, when they see a lightsaber turn on, is it green or blue? You know he's a good guy. If it's red, watch out. You know, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
We got another caller for you, Flynn. Hopefully, this guy will be a little more coherent here.
Yeah.
Sure.
More fun.
Hey guys, it's DJ. How you doing? I had a question for
DJ.
All right, DJ, go ahead.
I had a question for the Jedi guy. How are you doing there?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Great. Yeah. I just wanted to. You run the Jedi School, is that right?
I'm the founder. We started teaching classes a little over 8 years ago in dance studios in New York City, and it's just lightsaber stage combat. It's real sword work with fun glow sticks.
And I was just wondering too. Do you have any other competing Jedi schools in the area or around? Like, is your school looked at kind of like as a first choice, you know, for aspiring Jedis? Is it more of like a safety school, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of different schools. I know of a bunch of our former friends have gone off and created their own groups, and you've got some like the New York Jedi specifically has not been recognized, quote unquote, from Lucasfilm as an official fan group. But then you got other clubs around the area, like you have the Rebel Legion and the 501st, and you have Saber Guild. Those guys, when you show up and you dress in costume and you want to do this kind of sword work, you have to be approved. Your costume has to be right in line with certain restrictions. But the New York Jedi, we're more about the stage combat and the performance, friends, you know, that kind of thing. So I would say there's a number of different schools in the area, and a bunch of different people, and whoever you resonate with, you should hang out with them. You know, our group is cool.
So you think you guys are a bit more lenient, perhaps?
lenient?
Yeah, like you said, like you're not as strict with requiring certain uniforms and things like that.
Yeah, well, our group is very lenient. I mean, we make sure if we're going to go out and perform somewhere. I mean, we're world famous now, so people have an expectation when a Jedi shows up.
Hold on, Flynn. I think DJ has some past. DJ, did you have a bad experience at a past Jedi school?
No, I didn't, but I'm not averse to the idea of actually, looking into joining one. So, I mean, I'm just asking as, finding out some info.
Well, I mean, are there online programs? Because, I mean, maybe the Jedi School might be very expensive. Are there, like, perhaps online or distance learning courses for these?
That would be good, actually, because I'm interested in doing online courses. I did do an online acting course, but I didn't really get much out of that.
How long?
Well, you're in luck. You're very much in luck because the other websites, when New York Jedi hit the scene, we became so popular. Our web forum had people registering from all over the world. So I had to move our online forum into a different website called saberwars.com. So we're actually relaunching saberwars.com very soon, like in the next couple of days. And I'm turning that into the hub of all things lightsaber on the internet. So if there's, right now,
you're going to corner the lightsaber market.
24 clubs that I have on the list right now.
Wow.
All over the world. All over the world. Like we've got Singapore, we've got Australia, San Francisco. There's clubs all up and down the East Coast. There's 4 alone in Texas.
Where do the best Jedis come from, Flynn?
Where do they what?
Where do the best Jedis come from?
Where do the best Jedis come from?
Yeah.
This is going to sound corny, but it comes from your heart.
No, well, I mean, like, are black guys superior to Jedis? Are black guys, let's be honest, they seem to dominate a lot of sports.
Right, are people born in a certain area,
with that extra bone in the ankle or something,
Wait.
Okay, well, if we're going to go in that demographic, I would say freestyle rave dancers make the best Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Which one? Freestyle what?
Freestyle rave dancers.
Rave dancers. Yeah, you're right. That's Filipino. So you're basically saying the Filipino. Well, they are. They're a very sneaky culture, and they're very.
I'm a Filipino.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know who's a Filipino and who's not, but Nick made a great point, which is that generally it's an Asian population. Oh, really? So is she good? Yeah, so she's probably pretty good with a sword or with a knives. I mean, they got that Kali.
My sword.
Oh my goodness. Wait, Jedi. Wait a second.
Well, we went there already. I figured it was legal.
Is a Jedi? No, by all means. Is a Jedi? And you can curse too. But for the record, if I can't imagine a Jedi would lower himself to such a level. But you just mentioned a wife. Jedis aren't supposed to marry, though. Isn't that correct in the traditional lore?
According to the movies, and it's kind of funny. I have a story. We were at some comic book convention, and this guy was walking around. He was dressed up like Jesus Christ. And he had beard, long hair, everything. It looked great.
Yes.
We were teaching a class, and we were giving out some Hasbro, like those collapsible telescopic lightsabers that kids have. And we were throwing them out into the audience, and we were like, "Who else wants one?" And Jesus raises his hand. We're like, "Come forward." We had a green one and a red one left, and we said, "Which one do you want?" And he said, "I'll take the red one." And we were like, "But Jesus, wait, that's for the bad guys." And he's like, "Yeah, but they don't let the Jedi love." And we were like, "Oh, wow, Jesus just schooled us on being Jedi."
Wow.
Jesus.
Hold on. This is the audience's reaction.
Jesus.
Hold on. This is the audience reaction.
No,
I've definitely heard that before. Hey, let me ask one more question. I'll get off the line. Are you guys also really into like Star Wars? You really into that?
Oh, dude, yeah. Everybody in our group, and I would say all the groups all over the world, everybody's a big sci-fi dork. Everybody's got something that they really geek out about.
Even Star Trek?
So, we're all Star Wars fans, of course.
Oh, like even Star Trek too? You're...
Oh, yeah. Like one of our guys is wearing, he had a Star Trek T-shirt on, and it was done in the Star Wars font.
Do you feel that there's a significant amount of competition from these Harry Potter, what do they call the Hogwarts schools that are coming into existence, things like that?
What, competition for our school?
Yeah, in other words, which sort of, make-believe thing are they going to go to? Or, you know what I mean?
That depends on the person. Like I said, everybody's got something that they want to dork out about.
Yeah, you're not afraid of anybody stealing from your congregation to go to the Harry Potter congregation?
No, guys, it's all friends. if anybody goes and takes some time and they go take another martial arts class, I'm not going to get mad at karate or kung fu.
Right.
And incidentally, this is really fun because it might look like we're playing with toys and stuff, but the training that we do is real stage combat. 2 years ago, my partner Mike and I went to Las Vegas, and we actually got trained by Nick Gillard, who did the choreography in the last 3 Star Wars movies.
Wow.
Is that technically the
so
first
we've actually
3?
been trained by the Star Wars choreographer.
Wait a minute. You mean the guy that didn't say a line in the first movie?
You mean Ray Park?
That's Ray Park.
Oh, okay. So there you go. I know.
Yeah. So you were trained by that guy, but what I'm curious about is there going to be a place where you end up having competitions with other sort of, like medieval times or things like that? Because I'd like to know who would win, a Jedi or a knight, a Jedi or a wizard. I mean, are Jedis really as tough as what we've been led to believe, or are they actually kind of like small in the sci-fi world?
It depends on who you're dealing with. I mean, you just made the assumption that the girls aren't as good as fighters as the guys. You haven't met our Jedis. Like in that movie 300, your women will be this and that, and they will wail. And he's like, "Little, you've never met our women."
What is
these girls? These girls can kick some serious ass. You should see them; they're great.
When it comes to your school,
Adrian, Val.
What is the curriculum for your program? Like, what would it be they would go through, and after a year, 9 months, whatever the certificate program is, you then get done, and what would that look like?
Okay. Well, let me just outline it like this for you. Every week in the 2-hour class, we have a half an hour of physical warm-ups. We loosen up the wrists, the legs, go a bit of stretching in because it's real physical movement. And then to close out the rest of the hour, we will research some kind of training technique, whether it's fencing or footwork. We'll analyze how a samurai sword works or something like that.
I see.
We'll bring in different. See, all other weapons apply to the lightsaber. We can use any techniques that are used, like the police batons with the handle on the side of it. Somebody made a lightsaber version of those.
I see what you're saying. I mean, but what I think Nick kind of points to is exactly. When you you can't.
After a year, where are you after a year?
What do the classes look like? Like, am I taking Jedi 101 or Master, pre-Master Jedi?
Yeah, I mean, what's the deal?
Well, the fun is, it's set into a science fiction universe where the good guys and bad guys are known as Jedi and Sith. Okay, so then in a year,
the other one?
our goal will be to get you on stage at a convention. So that means you're encouraged to create your character. What color is his lightsaber? What does the lightsaber look like? Does it work? I mean, does it actually feel good in your hand? Is it properly balanced? You learn all this stuff. How's your footwear? Is it going to screw up when you're on stage? So by the time you hit the stage and everybody says, "Hey, here's the New York Jedi," you are known as a New York Jedi because you're worthy of hitting that stage with us.
I think
we
I've
are
seen
world
it.
famous because we are that awesome.
So when you graduate, it sounds like at the end of it, there's a performance.
That's typically we're starting up kids classes. I just launched SaberKids.com. So for
my
ages 7
goodness.
through 13, they have a 10-week or a 10-session course in 5 weeks. That at the end, they start off with all this other stuff that I just explained, and then 5 weeks from now, we have a black box theater that everybody performs for their parents and friends.
Okay, well, I want to ask you something about lessons in general. So, do you give one-on-one lessons? Does that cost a little bit more?
Yes.
Okay, so you like, even for the kids, you do one-on-one lessons and stuff like that? Is there a discount there?
Certainly.
What?
Yeah, we've done birthday parties with 15 to 20 kids.
All right, so
2 or 3 of us.
All right, now because the kids. Now, I mean, you're blurring the line between fiction and reality just a little bit. So for the kids, do you ever play that up and maybe do a Darth Vader voice and say something like this?
Give yourself to the dark side.
Like when you're on one-on-one with the kid?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Like at a birthday party, it's like if I happen to have a Darth Vader costume on.
Right. And so
I try not to.
right, and you might say something like this to the kid in the Darth Vader voice.
It is pointless to resist, my son.
You don't know the power of dark chocolate.
Right.
That kind of thing. Yeah. Of course.
Wow, well, that sounds like, if we can hire you for birthdays, I'm sure the kids love that. You're basically getting them to lower their defenses to this kind of sci-fi world and kind of just going with the flow and not being so resistant.
You'd be surprised. Here we are 30 years plus after Star Wars came out. 77, right? We just had the 30-year anniversary, and 35 years now, geez. And, you know, here are little kids, like, what, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, and they've got Princess Leia costumes on. And you're like, is this the parents or is this the kids? And the kids, it's still such an iconic story that even kids today are still getting involved in.
Wow. Wow.
You know, it's really impressive. I mean, I feel fortunate. I'll just say I feel like people laugh at us and they say that, well, it's not a real martial art or you're just dorks and whatever. I don't go to the gym. I'm extremely physically fit. I have incredible balance. Girls love the lightsaber. You pull this thing out and all they want to do is touch it.
Wow. Talk slow now. This is good.
Everybody loves lightsabers.
So I mean, even the kids love the lightsaber, right?
Everybody does, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
What would your life be like if you hadn't opened the Master Jedi School?
I would probably be in a band. I'd probably be doing something musical.
I could have answered that. Let's be honest. But he would be working. He'd be your roommate, and he'd be passing at the Comedy Cellar. Is what he'd be doing. Let's be honest. But I am sort of really interested in the birthday parties and the one-on-one lessons, because how do the parents receive you? Do they sort of look at it like it's just some fad, or like it's some sort of thing that they're okay with?
I'm really impressed with the parents, because when we come in, you'd think that they'd be very cautious about putting things in hands of kids where they're swinging at each other to hit each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I give the parents a lot of credit, and they let us do our thing, and we're really good. The first thing we do is we ask the kids, when's the best time to use a lightsaber?
All right,
like, when you got
Flynn,
what would you say? When's the best time to use a lightsaber? What was your answer?
Flynn, we got another call for you. You want to take it?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second here.
Flynn,
All right.
I'm just wondering. What type of advice do you have for someone who might want to be a Jedi, but they might be afraid? This is not for me, by the way. Someone who might have the aspiration to be a Jedi, but he might be afraid because they might not want the rejection, or they might not want what might come out of it, the negative consequence. You have advice for someone like that?
So, I'm having trouble hearing the question. You're saying, like, if somebody wanted to be a Jedi, but they're afraid of looking silly?
Yes.
What's the advice for them? Is that what you're asking?
Afraid of several things, like being silly, maybe look like failure, not being able to achieve. What if someone try to join Jedi school, but they not work out? They work out very well. They fail. They not pass the test, and they end up looking like a failure. What is that for someone who might be afraid?
I would say, if you really wanted to do it, don't take yourself so seriously. Pick up a lightsaber and have some fun, regardless of what anybody thinks about it.
If it's for a friend, it's not for me.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, like, you should let them know. One of my favorite books is The Little Prince by Saint-Exupéry. And one of the famous lines in that is, "It is only with the heart that one sees rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." So if you're worried about somebody looking at you and laughing,
do they have a
I think that was Michael Jackson's favorite book, too.
Caller.
I'm sorry, everything kind of broke.
Do they have the audio version of the book?
Caller, 1 second. What I want to do is I want to understand specifically, what is your goal, though? Do you want to be able to do like the kids' parties and put on the Darth Vader costume and to work with these kids? Is that what your goal is? To be like with what Flynn was saying that he can do?
What is my goal?
Yes, your goal. Is it to do those things?
No. This is not for me. I'm calling for a friend. I don't want to be a Jedi. I'm calling for a friend.
All right. Well, Flynn answered your question. We're going to have to let you go. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got another call, Flynn. Hello, you're on Corrosive Radio. What's your question?
Hey, it's me again. What's going on?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question? Make sure you address the person this time.
Is that guy Flynn there?
Yeah, he's here.
Is he still there?
How you doing? I'm here.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on? So,
what's up, brother?
I'm very curious because I was actually just, about to rub one out, looking at some porn right now. And, I'm on this porn site right now, and I'm looking at this comic book porn. And I thought about you. So I want to know, do you beat off the comic book porn? Because it seems like that's the type of crowd that you appeal to. Or they appeal
No, I
to.
just use Pornhub.com.
That's a fair
What was
question,
that?
though. That's a fair
I
question.
just go to Pornhub.com. Sometimes there's animations on there.
Yeah, but they have that porn on there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I never knew anyone that beat off the, comic book porn, and I wanted to see if you were the first person, that in my life that I came across beating off to, Ryu fucking Chun-Li.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Japan's got me beat on that one. No pun intended.
Wait. So, Cola, you're saying you're saying you've never heard of anybody else do that? You felt alone your whole life?
Haven't you ever met Brendan? Good Lord. He loves that
That's some
Futurama
hardcore
porn.
stuff. I mean, am I allowed to curse? Is this XM radio over here? XM
Yes, you
Basin
may
radio
call,
over here?
sure.
Am I allowed to curse at all, or what's going on? What's
You can
restrictions?
curse as long as it's
You can
funny and
curse.
coherent. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's some creepy ass shit, to be honest with you.
Fair
but
enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
But Flynn, may I ask, how old are you?
I'm 43 next week.
You're 43 next week. So what? And this is, I'm sure you get this question a lot, but I really need to know is what do your parents think about your occupation and your sort of passion?
Well, that's kind of that's an interesting question. Well, my dad, I don't really talk to, so I mean, he knows I'm a world famous stage combat person, and he's like, oh, that's nice. So
Really?
I mean, he doesn't really care.
Does that sounds like that upsets you? That he's not more
what?
interested, that he's not like more proud of his son, when in fact you did reach high levels in your chosen field. I mean, it's sort of sad that he's just kind of brushing it off as if that's no big deal.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about like Earth world famous or like World of Warcraft famous? World famous. What type of world famous are you talking about right now?
Well, I've had people from all over the world start clubs similar to the one we started here in New York City. Cited us, said thank you, and such thanks to Master Flynn for everything. So I mean, that's Spain, UK, Singapore, Siberia, Russia.
Wow. I mean, that's really that's
Australia,
impressive.
South America. I mean, Africa. We're all over the place.
And your father just sort of doesn't even give that any kind of like, he just kind of shirks that off as if that's nothing.
Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about it. He's not very interested in it, if I can put it that way.
And Flynn,
that's okay. He's got his life. I've got mine. So hey, that's cool.
And you're
my
able
mom though. She loves it. My mom is awesome.
Really?
I know, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, she left. Here's the funny. Actually, here's a very interesting story. I'm adopted. Okay.
Ah.
I found my mom back in 2003.
She knew you were bad news from the beginning.
I met her.
Yeah.
What's that?
Go ahead.
So I flew down to Tampa, Florida. I met my mom. Found out that I have a half brother named Tom. He ends up moving up here to New York City. Becomes a member of New York Jedi for 3 years. He moved upstate now.
Okay.
But he was one of our infamous Sith Lords. He was one of our bad guys. That we got to pose for pictures at the Star Wars stamps release in New York City. My brother and one of our guys are standing next to the Postmaster General of the United States, holding up these stamps. So I mean,
you made it, brother. You made it.
I met my mom. I met my brother. He's a Jedi. Well, he's a Sith Lord, but and I can't tell you how lucky I've been because of this lightsaber school. I mean, if I had met my mom and my brother's, whatever, he moved to New York, okay, and what are we going to do? Oh, we'll hang out and drink beer.
All right, Flynn.
No,
Flynn, we've got. I'm sorry, we got another caller for you.
Sure.
All right, you're on Corrosive Radio. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, you do a lot of family parties?
Yeah, we do over a dozen a season, I would think.
Wow.
What's a season? What constitutes a
I
season?
was just at a family party this weekend, and I was in the bathroom, and my nephew popped out of the shower as I was urinating. I had no idea he was there. I couldn't stop, and he was just like staring at me. And I was just wondering, what would you do?
What?
Wait, caller.
I'll probably stop and turn around and say, "Excuse me, can you leave?"
Yeah, but like, what if you were, what if you weren't that embarrassed?
Wow, sounds like.
Well, that's not me. So.
So you would be embarrassed? Is that what you're saying, Flynn? I mean, because I know I'd be
I'm
embarrassed.
not being
I'm not-
embarrassed. It's just that hey, let's have some fun.
Flynn, he prefaced the call with because I think he was asking about because we asked you if you did the one-on-one with kids. I think he's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, no. We don't do those kind of lessons. Sorry, but if you want those kind of lessons, I would suggest calling a Catholic.
Wait, sir, caller, caller. Did you think that this man was a kid toucher? Is that what you thought?
No. He just mentioned, parties, and I was just at a party, and I was just thinking, maybe, I don't know. I just thought I'd ask.
I see.
I know he's a priest, but I think you're drawing too many parallels here. Are you wearing gray stained sweatpants right now, sir?
No, I'm not wearing any kind of sweatpants.
Oh, he's not wearing any pants at all, Brendan.
No, I'm wearing something.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But no, it sounds like
goodbye.
Bye.
Fair enough. But so, can I ask you, Flynn, one other question? I know this is going to be personal.
Flynn, that's the problem. When we get Star Wars fans and comedy fans, we get that kind of weirdo. They do come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
You trust me. If you came down and hung out with our crew in our club, you would hear the worst shit coming out of people's mouths. I mean, we're all adults. When there's kids in the room, we tend to watch our mouths a little bit. But, we're all adults. We're all making fun of each other. We're all making, racist jokes, and it's just making fun of each other for whatever, and your hair's on. And they call me hippie because my hair's long.
I see.
So it's a bunch of adults having fun. This is a stage combat group. We just let it all hang out. But then when we get dressed up, we're a bunch of dorks,
Flynn, why do you think that you were given up for adoption? If I may ask, I know that's a bold question, but I just need to know. I'm actually really curious because you just kind of pointed that out. That you love when you said you love your mother, that was your foster mother, and then you found your mother and your half brother. But I'm always intrigued by that because I know people that were orphaned and that were brought in. But why do you think she gave you up?
Well, the story goes that she got pregnant by my dad. He was married. He was screwing around on his wife, knocked up my mother.
Wow.
And she was going to have nothing to do with it. She had planned to actually have an abortion, and when it came time to do it, her friend was supposed to have made the appointment for her. And when it came time to do it, she was like, "I can't go through with it." And her parents actually, from what I understand, had made her. She was forced to give me up. She was 20 years old when she got pregnant. She turned 21 the day before she had me, so we almost have the same birthday.
What a story.
So
that actually is that. It almost seems like the Force was with you from the beginning. I mean, if you look at it that way, right? I mean, let's be honest. You apparently.
Well, hey, my perspective is this. Always have a look on Monty Python. Always look on the bright side of life. I might have been given up by my mother, but I have gotten so much different things in my life than. I watched my brother. He grew up in that setting with that mother.
Right.
I grew up in a different setting, so I actually got to see an inside view of what my life might have been like if we hadn't been separated.
Sure.
So, I have been giving so many gifts from the things that have happened to me because I've been adopted. And no matter what happens with my adopted dad and all that, I still love my family. I love my life. Had no idea I'd end up like a Jedi Knight. I mean, really? You think I rolled out of bed and said, I think I'm going to start a Jedi Academy?
Is a knight the same thing as a master?
No, not in the canon Star Wars lore.
Okay. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, Empire Strikes Back.
Everybody says that, though. Everybody says that.
Nick is beyond a novice, so you got to bear with him. Forgive him.
I like Spaceballs.
Oh, I love Spaceballs. Now, if you ask me, what do I like better, the first trilogy or the second trilogy? For the lightsaber fighting, I like the most recent trilogy, the episodes 1, 2, and 3 with Darth Maul and everybody.
Right, and for everything else, you like the first.
For the drama and the story, I think the first 3 were done right. I think that they really had a good ball rolling, and then I think George, even though he had a really good vision and whatever, the success tainted the purity of it. I mean, it was $1 billion industry. If you could do anything you want, is your heart really still in it?
Flynn, there's so much talk about Jedi mind tricks, and again, I'm sure that you sound like you're not any kind of you're not a nutcase, but how does the school approach the Jedi mind tricks? Because it sounds like you might actually have some. I mean, you might have actually convinced your real mother to not have an abortion. I mean, that showed some early power. So I'm just curious, like, how do you think you actually have an intuition or something like that? I mean, how does that work?
Well, I mean, I can. The fun answer is, it's always better to be the one in the room who sees everything going on.
That's a terrible answer, Flynn. Let's give the real answer.
Okay, my real answer.
Yes.
I'm a Buddhist monk. I've been studying Buddhism and meditation and the occultism or the occult for close to 20 years, better than 20 years. So when somebody actually wants to talk seriously about, quantum mechanics and what the mind is capable of, sure, I'm ready to have a real conversation. What is telepathy? What are we really capable of as far as the human condition and the potential that we really have?
Right.
I think Star Wars is fun because it's a science fiction theme. But a lot of the stuff, I mean, you look at everything that they put in those movies, right down to Joseph Campbell and the Archetypes.
Oh, absolutely. And even before that, I mean, if you go back to just even the old Taoist texts and Buddhist texts, the idea of Qi and Shun and all the, like internal energy, that's really all the Force. Precisely. I think that's all that really, the writers really came up with. So, but so you get...
I think Dan's original question was, do you think that you had some special ability that affected your mother's decision not to kill you in the womb?
I would like to think so.
You would, yeah. I would too. I mean, it's pretty harrowing to find out that you were almost going to be, taken out with the coat hanger or whatever it was going to be. But
I know, right?
I mean, but I actually am. But I mean, I think that really kind of strengthens your claim, and I don't even mean this tongue in cheek. I mean, it's just It almost sounds like a Jedi origin story. Because I actually am a Star Wars fan, that sounds remarkably like something that would be written about a great Jedi Master, that he was came from a poor beginning or unwanted, all these type of things. Father that doesn't recognize them and their skills, right? I mean, it sounds like you really are kind of living that lifestyle.
We got one.
You say that.
Flynn, we got one last caller for you. Okay.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Sure.
All right, go ahead, sir. You're on Corrosive Radio.
Yeah, you seem to have such a carefree attitude towards everything. I was just wondering, how do I open up a business? How do I do what you've done?
How do you do what I've done?
How do I do it?
Yeah, this is a legitimate call.
I think he wants to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah,
financially.
It might not be. It's not going to be. I know nothing about Star Wars, but I'm just asking a question. How do I do something that might not mean much to the majority of the people, but somehow open up a bit? How much money do you have?
I don't make a lot of money. I mean, the classes that we give every week in New York City, it's $10 a head. So, and we rent up a studio. It's not, we don't pay rent for a month. It's like every night we pay for the 2 hours that we use.
Right.
And this is all you do is the Jedi.
I mean, here's what I did. Okay, I happen to love Star Wars. I'm a huge fan of swords and martial arts. I grew up watching samurai movies. I took samurai lessons.
Lone Wolf and
the lightsabers came out, and they were proper weight. They felt like a real sword. You could actually use them. You could actually dance with it, and you can look good doing what I was doing. So I grew up in the financial world doing programming and computer systems and all that kind of stuff. But I'm also a sound engineer and a producer. So I just took the technical stuff that I have and what I do for a job, and then I figured out what's the best way I can do this with my lightsaber, with my business experience. So I built the website, I built the forum, that snowballed, it took off, we've inspired clubs all over the world, and most importantly, I made sure people have fun. And people sometimes, and I've watched this happen, it takes 2 years for a club to start, and they rip each other apart because they don't like who's running it, and then they,
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're running out of time here, so why don't you plug whatever you got to plug, and we got to let you go so other people can plug stuff, okay?
No problem. Brandon, thank you so much for Corrosive Radio.
Yeah, no, thanks for being a good sport. Go ahead. What you got to plug?
Definitely cool. Well, it's NewYorkJedi.com for the website in New York City. SaberWars.com is going to be the all things lightsaber on the internet. And SaberKids.com is the registration website for the classes we're about to launch on July 23rd for a 5-week session. And it's all brand new, and we're looking forward to the Star Wars movies. And just come down and have some fun. Don't worry about what anybody thinks.
All right, we had a good time. We had a good time tonight, Flynn. We're gonna let you go. Okay.
Thanks so much, and you guys are great. I'm looking forward to hearing this later. I can't wait to listen to the archive.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, Nick, we're already out of time here. Nick, you got to plug some shows here, don't you?
Sure, yeah. I'm going to be at Bananas on Saturday hosting a comedy competition at 8 p.m. in Poughkeepsie, and then the following weekend, the 19th and 20th, at Kazi's Comedy Club in Newport News.
Okay, Dan?
I'm going
I'll
to
be working a
masturbating
wedding
later, thinking about cartoon porn, and after that, I'll probably have some cookies.
All right, guys. Check out Outback Radio.
Charlie Outback.
Tuesday nights at from 9 to 10 right here on this site, all right?
And the comic book show.
Well, we're
still coming.
Yeah,
right? Down the
hold on.
pipeline?
Yeah, it was supposed to be this week. We don't know yet. All right.
Well, stay abreast.
Maybe this Friday we'll have a comic book show for you on Friday. All right, guys. Take care. All right.
Corrosive Radio.